This is M.
And this is Ken.
And this is just your typical
Boy meets girl.
boy and girl become BFFs.
Straight up BFFs. For life.
Girl asks boy to make some top 5 lists.
Boy decides to film it.
And an internet sensation was born.
Dozens will be entertained.
This is our podcast.
Top 5 Battle Royale.
With cheese.
With cheese.
And welcome to M.
And Ken's?
Top 5's Battle Royale.
With cheese.
With cheese. If you are just joining us for the first time, you have picked an excellent week.
Great week.
Because this week we are going to talk about DC comic book villains. Subject near and dear to my heart. Of course, I'm a DC guy.
I'll go with it. I'm a Marvel girl, but villains I thought was kind of cool.
We talked about Marvel last week. This week we're going to talk about DC. It only seems fitting.
Tick for tack. I'm good with that.
If you haven't watched the show before, and, you know, maybe you haven't, although you probably should have, Em and I are really good friends, and we have decided to videotape ourselves arguing about our top 5 lists in each of these categories.
That's what every normal person does, right?
It's what any fun-loving person does on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we're talking this week, DC comic book villains. Since I got to pick the subject, Emily here gets to call the coin. We have a fancy little Harvey Dent Two-Face comic book DC villain. What?
Ooh,
and
I gotta go villain, right?
What's that?
Don't I have to call villain, right? I
Yeah,
call Two-Face.
yeah, I think you should call.
I think I have to call
I think
Two-Face.
you almost have to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you don't have to. Two-Face is on a 3-game winning streak.
Yes.
And if history repeats itself, he may win this one because Harvey Dent
That
was
would be 4 and
4-0.
4, right?
So,
Mm.
we'll see what happens. Will the fates align for you? So Em gets to pick. See
I'm
who
going
goes
villain.
first.
I'm going Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Ooh.
Two-Face is brought back 4 and 4 now.
Wow.
4-game winning streak for Two-Face. Okay, so I get to go first then because I lost, which is perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Before I start, however, I have a consolation.
All right.
I have a consolation pick. We haven't had this before, but we talked about it.
We did.
The rules on a consolation pick, if you decide that you can't narrow it down to just 5, if you have an extra pick there floating around, you are entitled to choose it. However, you cannot, I have to convince you,
Sure.
basically, or vice versa, to let me make that pick. So I have a pick. I'm going to give you 3 arguments here.
Okay.
I'm a huge DC nut.
Valid.
We're talking about DC. I have at times made plans for world domination, just like my consolation pick.
Okay.
And I think that DC comic book villains are so rich, they are arguably far superior. I mean, you really can't even argue. DC comic book villains are far superior to Marvel. Batman's Rogues Gallery alone could match some of Marvel's villains. So I feel like if there is ever a topic that is deserving of that 6th consolation pick, it is this one.
I'll let you go for it.
Yeah!
Only because I know it makes you so happy.
Yeah! Alright. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it was tough for me to leave this one off the list.
Mm-hmm.
He is Superman's arch nemesis, Lex Luthor. One of the greatest villains of all time. I wanted to throw that out there, but I thought maybe that would be too much. But, so Lex Luthor is my 6th consolation pick.
Okay.
Put him right there on the bottom. You can't see him.
I love Lex.
But Lex Luthor, he's just an amazing character. He's been played really well over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him in this next upcoming Superman stuff. Even though he's not going to be in the next movie, I feel like, he'll show up at some point here. So Lex Luthor is just awesome. So
Sounds good.
my consolation pick, Lex Luthor. You cannot see that. I don't know why I put that there. All right, my number 5 pick. I have to see if I remember. Okay, my number 5 pick is also a Superman nemesis.
Okay.
I put him at number 5. I couldn't leave him off the list. He broke Superman's back.
Yeah.
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
crazy, insanely powerful villain.
Mm-hmm.
They've kind of wussed him up over the years because they really made him so strong there when he broke Superman's back.
Yeah, who does that?
Well, he didn't even. I'm sorry, he didn't break Superman's back. He killed
him,
Superman.
yeah.
Bane broke Batman's back. Doomsday killed Superman.
Yeah. That's
Like,
a big deal.
I don't think that you can say you're not going to be able to make an argument that there isn't a superhero who's had a greater impact in this world than Superman. Maybe Batman, maybe Spider-Man, but Superman, I mean, he's the most universally known of all of the superheroes.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Doomsday killed him.
Mm-hmm.
He killed him, and everybody cried. Yeah. I still have the comic books. I read it like a while back, like the one where he actually like killed him, and it's just insane. I mean, it was this epic battle. So I mean, it stretched over a couple comic books. So this battle was so intense, and it's just the end of the battle. Right? Pretty much his death is just like he's just getting his butt whooped, and yeah, he kills him.
Yikes.
So they did some weird stuff after that. Superman is back now, thank God. There's not 4 of him anymore, which was just so. Even though he did inspire a Shaquille O'Neal movie, I'm still picking Doomsday.
He's inspired. We'll talk about that later. I don't think I want to know.
All right. Well, Steel was like kind of modeled after one of the 4 Supermen.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what that is.
When Superman came back from the dead,
You're
they
right.
took his 4 personas: the Caped Crusader, the Man of Steel,
Right.
the Kid Wonder, all that kind of stuff. His like nicknames, and they made those into personas for new Supermen.
Yeah, that's not weird.
And so one of the people who became Superman's body took his
Right.
whatever, was a steel worker, and he became one of the new Supermen, and then they made a Shaquille O'Neal movie about it. Basically, I mean they don't talk about Superman in it, but
it was Shaquille O'Neal.
yeah, it was Shaquille O'Neal.
I got questions, but we'll wait. Okay.
I'm not proud. I mean, I'm not proud by any means.
My number 5 actually is also a Superman villain.
Yeah, Brainiac. I love Brainiac. I love Brainiac.
Brainiac's cool.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
he has a skull shit, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get much cooler than that.
Brainiac's a cool pick. That is a cool pick. I don't think I'm going to have problems with any of your picks on this.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
But I like Brainiac. I mean, he's, I would say he's overlooked a bit in the movie versions, obviously.
He is kind of not a popular pick.
No.
But
I
a
think
great
he's cool.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's awesome.
So,
I love Brainiac.
I got Brainiac.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So that means it's my number 4. And my number 4 is actually one of my favorite. Really one of my favorites. It was hard to put him at number 4. I mean, when I threw the list out, I'm like, I can't put this person lower than 2.
Right.
I can't put this person lower than 2. I can't put this. So it was really hard to push him out, but he's one of my favorites. Penguin.
I love Penguin.
Oswald Copperpot. Chester Copperpot, whichever. Why do they change their names?
I was just going to ask you that, but
Why do they do that? Why do they confuse me? I dressed as the Penguin, the Danny DeVito version of the Penguin, in 7th grade, I want to say.
Okay.
For Halloween.
Okay.
Did the makeup, had the outfit. We went to a senior center.
Flippers?
They had gloves that had flippers.
That's awesome.
I didn't wear them all day though because they were
Right.
But we went to I was part of a group that we went and played bingo with seniors.
Yeah, okay.
And it just so happened that day fell on Halloween.
Sure.
And I got voted. The senior citizens had
They voted you the best costume?
a little contest.
How cute is that?
And I won like a little gift card. I don't know what I won, but I won. The seniors voted me the best dressed because of the Penguin.
The Penguin.
What? Although that outfit was a nightmare. That makeup was so I hated, and the nose.
Yeah, it had been obnoxious.
That was an obnoxious. Yeah, I think that was like the death of Halloween for me was the Penguin. I went out on top, but yeah.
But that was it, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Oh my goodness.
All right, what you got for number 4?
My number 4, I actually really like my number 4. My number 4 is Harley Quinn.
Oh, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn. I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
But I am somewhat connected to Miss Harley Quinn.
No.
Yes, the gentleman who created Harley Quinn, Mr. Paul Dini,
Okay.
is one of the greatest comic book writers out there right now. He wrote the 2 Gotham Batman comic video games.
Yeah,
The last
okay.
two. He is married to a good friend of mine, Misty Lee, the amazing illusionist. Misty Lee is married to Mr. Paul Dini, and as such, I have a little bit of a.
That's pretty cool. I love Harley Quinn.
I've always loved Harley Quinn, but
Yeah.
like for me, like
Special place in your heart.
I only really approved Mr. Dini to marry Misty because he was Paul Dini.
Very cool.
So yeah,
I love Harley Quinn. I mean, she's like that good girl gone
yeah.
bad, sort of, if you want to look at it that way. She's just fun.
And I think people, she's so awesome. People forget that she's only been around
Not long.
for a few. I mean, she's only been around for a couple decades.
Right.
Like, end of the '90s, I think, was when they introduced her. So, yeah, that's a quality pick. I love Harley Quinn.
Good.
Just she's Harley Quinn's at Halloween time. The adult Harley. Oh my god, that's a fantastic costume, by the way. If you ever, ladies, that should be your Halloween costume. So, all right, my number 3 is a wait. Yeah, okay. My number 3.
Gotta make sure you're right there.
For some reason, I thought it was number 2, but my number 3 is the main nemesis of my favorite comic book hero. I love Batman. I do. I love Batman. But I have a place in my heart, and everybody makes fun of me. I love Aquaman, and Black Manta is a badass villain. Like, he is a badass villain, and he is Aquaman's main
Is he a Ray? Like
nemesis.
Manta Ray?
No, he's not. He's just a crazy dude in a costume.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of more
he
like a
aquatic?
vigilante. Yeah, a little bit. He's more of like a. He was actually more like along the lines of like Wolverine, just a little bit meaner.
Huh.
Like, he doesn't work for good in any way, shape, or form. But he's not really like a hell bent on destruction kind of a guy.
Gotcha.
He's just kind of a douchebag in a hat and a helmet. He's got a black helmet. He's just really cool. And the new 52 version of Aquaman is a great comic book, and they really made him super badass in that. So
Cool.
Black Manta coming in at number 3 on my list.
That's yeah.
Big ups to Aquaman. What up? All you haters, just hate. I don't care. Aquaman rules. So.
Whatever you say, my friend. All right,
You
my
picked Spider-Man. You have no.
I got nothing for you, right?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, I I cheated.
You cheated?
I know. I snuck in a Marvel villain.
What?
I know, right?
What? No.
No, because yeah, I did.
Shenanigans.
I know. You're gonna be mad. But that's okay. Because I couldn't leave him out.
He's not a DC villain.
I know, but okay. Well, fine. I'll skip my 3 then. I'll go right to 2.
Let's see it.
I had to pull out Magneto.
But Magneto's not DC.
No, I know that. I know. I just said I cheated.
I'm putting Lex Luthor there.
You can't put Lex Luthor.
I'm putting
there.
Lex Luthor there.
No, you can't.
I'm putting Lex Luthor there because he deserves to be on that list. Magneto is not. That's DC. This is Marvel.
I know it.
This is a DC
But
list.
it's epic. It's
No. I can't hate on Magneto. However, in the case of this,
Whatever.
there was a rule violation, and you know it. Rule violation.
I shouldn't have said it. You should have just slapped it up there and seen it coming.
Magneto does not make the list.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
You can't put a D. I mean, I could have put Superman on my. How would I? Would you have done the same thing if I had put Superman number 1?
No, actually, I think Superman's cool.
Yeah,
but I know what you're saying.
But he's not.
I was worth a shot.
Not DC. He was not DC. It was a bad shot because he's not DC.
Whatever.
All right. My number 2 is probably the coolest, most badass villain, like power wise,
Okay.
in the entire comic book universe. They've mimicked him on poorly in the Marvel comics. Poorly imitated. Mr. Darkseid. Just an amazing. He's fought with like everybody pretty much because he is just so BA. Darkseid. My number 1 or my number 2. Excuse me.
2?
He's just a super cool villain. Kind of the leader of the Injustice League or the League of Villains, whichever incarnation they're currently taking. And he kind of started that whole outer space kind of thing that DC kind of got into, and Marvel just took it to bad places.
Marvel did take over that too with the whole. Well,
Marvel did not go. DC has space with like Green Lantern and stuff like that.
Right,
Marvel went into space for no reason.
Yeah,
It just got wonky. So, but Darkseid is kind of like the first, like really awesome, like intergalactic bad guy kind of thing. So
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2.
dogs.
My number 2, of course, is the Joker.
The Joker.
You know what I like about the Joker? The lack of a backstory.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he, like, no one really knows, like, what his real name is. Unless I'm wrong, right?
No, I mean, not really.
No one knows what his real name is. You know, Vat of Acid is pretty much, like, the start of his...
It was just kind
his
of a
story.
regular thug that kind of went...
Right.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, like, and creepy dark. Creepy dark.
The thing about Joker is, like, they've made him creepy and they've
Yeah.
made him comical.
Right.
And
they have played him 2 ways. You're totally right.
And both ways just kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, you can be, like, funny, haha, insane dude, or you can be like, holy crap, that guy is messed up dark.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I like Joker.
The crazier part is we have a repeat of last week.
What?
Joker.
Joker!
Number 1. Just like last week, your number 2 is my number 1.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Joker, like I said, he's just... You can't not put this guy on the list.
I agree.
And, I mean, you know, like I said, I could not put him 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't make him any lower.
No, I agree.
He's like the ultimate villain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you think about it, like, he's the best villain there is. Like, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's resourceful. They have taken him to some dark, dark places.
Yeah.
And, if I may say so, the only superhero movie character to ever win an Oscar, Mr. Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
Who was amazing in The Dark Knight. I think Dark Knight is probably one of the best
Right.
comic book movies. We'll probably get to that at some point.
Sure.
But, yeah, like, the Joker just...
Well, I clearly agree with you. All right.
Bounce, boom.
My number one
I'm
is
excited to see it.
apparently already on my list.
Hey!
Look at that guy!
He's so awesome. He made your list twice.
I do. I like Lex Luthor, and you know what I like about Lex Luthor, and I didn't say anything when you put him up there as your consolation prize guy. You know what I like about him is it's that friendship gone bad, right? Like, they start out, he and Clark start out as friends, like, everything's going along swimmingly, and then all of a sudden Lex takes this, like, dark turn, and their friendship is just, it's very odd. It's complicated and it's layered, and I like it because, you know, you're best friends with your own enemy. Like, it's just...
You watch a lot of Smallville, don't you?
I did.
It's not exactly the Lex Luthor
Sure.
story.
Well, and now you know why I don't.
Smallville was a great series,
I didn't like it.
but no, I liked what they did. I thought that the way they did Lex Luthor was pretty awesome.
Well, you
show.
explain comic Lex Luthor to me because
there's not really that layered.
They didn't have that
backstory.
dynamic.
I
Really liked that.
I don't really recall them being. I mean, I might have to go back and look, but I don't recall them ever like knowing each other up until like Clark Kent became Superman to start.
And then
the
Lex
world.
was trying to.
And Lex was a crazy evil. The thing I like about Lex Luthor is kind of like the evil version of Batman.
Okay, right.
He doesn't have a superpower.
Right. Okay.
He's just really intelligent and
And
really
really rich.
resourceful. And I love that he's just like I say he's the exact opposite of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't have a superpower. I think like currently he has like this big suit that he wears that's like, you know, like he's a genius who builds stuff, you know, and he's very powerful and resourceful and rich. And yeah, that's why I love Lex Luthor. And it was hard for, like I said, it was hard for me not to put him on my list. And then you went and put him on your list twice.
Yeah, no, right, look at that.
So
Amazing. Amazing.
So that is our top 5 DC villains. Pretty epic list. There was some awesomeness on here. There's I love Harley Quinn. I like, you know, she was one of the ones like with Lex Luthor that I was really hard pressed. And Catwoman.
You know what? I almost said that.
list,
She's the other one that I wanted to put on there really badly was Catwoman, but I didn't want to. I don't know. I was trying to think of girl villains. Poison Ivy. She's not great, but
See, I think the reason I didn't put Catwoman on my list and the reason I left her off is because I think she's been more of a great villain in the books or in the TV shows and the movies,
sure,
really than the comic books. I'm not a huge. Her comic book presence has been off and on for me lately.
Okay.
But I do love Catwoman and Harley Quinn. Oh my god, those are two.
Well, I'm glad I pleased you with pick 4
Like
anyway.
if we did a hot Halloween chick costume list, they would be
Catwoman
and Harley Quinn would be right up there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Fair
it'd actually
enough.
probably be all superheroes. But that's another list that we may probably never do.
That's a whole nother list.
that Emily
Not sure
may
what Emily
object.
would pick on that one. We'll see. Oh my
Who's like
goodness.
sexy nurse, man nurse? He just, I don't know. I don't know why I said that.
Oh my gosh.
So that's our list. Leave us your comments. Let's see what your top 5 are. So post them down on the YouTube, or you can visit our Facebook and Twitter pages that are right there on the screen, right about there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, somewhere about there.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Thank God I get to pick next week. Am I right?
Yes, you get to pick next week.
Okay. Let's get back to something that, like, you know, we're not going to have, like, strife about.
Let's stop overloading people with our nerdism.
Yeah. We would never do that.
No, never do that.
That's why they're watching this, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. I think we should go back to something fun.
Let's do something fun.
Like,
something we can't argue about.
Well, we can always argue about something.
Well, we're going to find reason to argue.
Absolutely.
Like, something that I'm not going to take your paper and rip it apart.
Yeah. How about one-hit wonders? Let's do one-hit wonders.
Ooh, yeah, I like that one.
Good.
Little interesting. I wonder if Right Said Fred will make my list.
Right Said Fred. Yeah.
You'll have to tune in next Wednesday to see if, in fact,
is too sexy
Right
for
Said
his
Fred.
shirt.
I love that song. Okay, I love that song. Anyways, tune in next week. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. And
Ken's
Top 5 Battle Royales with cheese. We'll catch you on the flip side, yo.
See ya.
Você não tá comprar o pedal, a roda e o banco pra cima.